Okay, so I got a couple of questions on Twitter about what our lower back warm-up we do, kind of to warm up guys with some lower back issues before they lift, what that circuit looks like. So I'm gonna go through our 4 exercises real quick. And remember, this isn't for acute injuries, meaning it's not for serious lower back injuries. These are guys that have tight lumbars, maybe a little bit of SI joint pain, nagging issues from their hips being tight or not really functioning properly with how they move. This is gonna make sure that your core and your hips are both mobile and strong to protect the lumbar spine when you're lifting. But this is not a fix for like a herniated disc or something. So go to your doctor if you have serious pain. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do some hanging traction. Now this one looks crazy, but I promise you, when you step up from this band, you feel amazing. We're gonna take a thick, big black band like this one right here. Make sure, kind of evaluate the thing first. It's got no tears in it. I've actually had one pop on me and it hurts really stinking bad. So make sure you got a good band first. If you got a nice solid big thick band like this, you're gonna step into it, wrap it under your armpits, like so, pull it down, so it's kind of down your back towards your hip, and I'm gonna matrix down to the floor, slide it down so it's right over my hip bones right down here. I'm gonna slide my feet on the outside, and all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna hang out and relax, nice deep breaths. You can do this as long as you want. I like to do it for about 2 to 3 minutes. Now what's going on here, much like when you go to the doctor's office, they have those inversion tables, right? They hang you upside down. The same idea, you're letting gravity separate the hips, decompress that lower spine, create some traction, but because my head's not upside down, I can hold this as long as I want to. So I can hold here 2-3 minutes. I'm not getting blood rush in my head. I can really let everything decompress and relax in the lower back. When you're done with that, stand up. And now we want to prep the core and the hips for what we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a dead bug exercise. We're going to attach a band or a cable to a rack. We're going to get down on our backs. And by putting this band here, it forces my rib cage to pull down and set my core nice and strong. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my lower back, and a lot of guys will have this arch here, especially your anterior pelvic tilt guys. So you want to make them pull that lower back into the spine, so that or that lower back into the floor, so their back is touching the ground. That's going to neutralize the spine. So I'm engaged, arms are straight, lower back's touching the floor, knees are up, and then as I reach my knees out under a lot of control, that lower back is not going to leave the floor. Go 10 to 20 reps here, depending on how much core strength the guy has. Once you're done with these, we're going to stand up. Now we're going to work on some rotational strength with a Pow Pow Press. So I want to set this up really about sternum height, pull tight enough to where I've got to really brace against that band, get in a nice neutral position, abs are engaged, chest is big, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to push that band straight out away from me, pause, and I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to do 10 of these on each side. You're going to feel your abs really tightening up, so you've got to resist that motion. Don't let it go away. It's got to be a straight line as you push out and back in. That's the third exercise. The final one's a little bit harder to describe, but it's really important. Inside, underneath your six-pack, you've got a muscle called your transverse abdominis, it's your TVA. It helps support the spine, create neutral positions when you're doing exercises. If it's not activated, you're really going to struggle. You're going to support your spine by overcompensating into the hyperextension. So what we want to do is we want to activate that TVA before we work out. So you lay on the floor, and like bodybuilders used to do back in the day, we're going to take a deep breath, and we're going to pull our belly button down into our spine, okay? You're going to hollow out. But notice I'm still talking to you right now. I'm not getting this position by sucking in. I'm getting this position by pulling my abdomen in, pulling my belly button down to my spine. Probably hold this for about 45 seconds for a new guy. You can go up to a whole minute or a minute and a half if somebody's really advanced right here. But you're going to feel the top of that hip pointer starting to burn a little bit inside the rib cage. And really you want shallow breaths and forcing that abdomen in down towards the floor. And again, that lower back should be touching the floor. So that's the little circuit we do to warm up for a big leg day, especially guys that are struggling with non-traumatic lower back injuries. It can help with a guy who has been through rehab and is kind of coming back as well, but that's going to help your body set up and prepare for some of your movements and keep some of those nagging injuries at bay.